Deven loves communication. He loves reading a variety of books that include fiction and nonfiction. He also loves writing. But public speaking is one thing that hasn't come naturally to him. It used to be that a friendly group of people in a room would transform into a frying pan in his mind as soon as he would stand up to speak. Thanks to his participation with Toastmasters, he's been able to go outside of his comfort zone. Right now, he's president of the Paul Revere Toastmaster Club in the city of Orange. Deven runs a youth leadership program 3 times a year that coaches young kids and teenagers about public speaking, communication, and leadership. While he does it as a creative outlet that gives him a lot of fun and energy, it's made him a much more relaxed speaker in front of people. Please join me in welcoming Deven Shaw.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Deven.
How are you today?
Good.
I gave my keynote 4 weeks ago, and so I don't want to give the same spiel again. I'm going to save you some headache. I know it's raining already outside, but I know that you are eating well, and so you'll be just fine. Today I'm going to speak a little bit about myself, what would be a good qualified prospects for me. That's one part of my keynote. And then I would like to plug in Vivian into my presentation. We want to explain what we do and how we are not confused about what we do. And towards the end of the speech, I want to have a little conversation about LinkedIn and Facebook and how we can use that as a marketing tool for our chapter. How does that sound?
Good.
First thing first, if any of you didn't get this when I gave a speech last week, please feel free to take one. I'm an engineer, and I love solving problems using technology. I'm very analytical also. Hi. No worries. So that's a nice way of saying it. I'm a geek, basically. But I love psychology and emotional intelligence a lot. So I'm a very special kind of geek. And I'm very entrepreneurial. I started my career in engineering research and development, but I gravitated very quickly towards customer-facing work because that's where I see all of my talents coming into play. And about 8 years ago, I switched into product marketing. And that's what I've been doing for the last 8 years. I talked a lot last time when I spoke. And I have this unique talent. I speak to a group of people for an hour, and they bang their head in the wall and say, what the hell is this guy talking about? So I'm going to make it easy for you today. I'm not going to talk about the things I said before. But what would be a good qualified prospect for me? It's 3 different kinds. The first is small and medium-sized business owner that has a local business. Who do you know that has, for example, a services or retail type business, a flooring company or a roofing company or a blinds company, financial services company, IT services company, real estate agents, mortgage officers, people that have their own little local business operation. I have a very specific plan for them to build their exposure, maintain customer relationships, and build their credibility. We make it easy and simple for them by having a very streamlined process of integrating the technology tools and making it all straightforward. That's one segment. Second segment is the marketing departments. Like, who do you know that's a marketing director or a marketing manager in a company? We do a couple of things for them. One is marketing research. For example, a B2B company could be going to trade shows. They could be doing search engine optimization. they could they must have salespeople making phone calls. They have some kind of magazine or TV or radio advertising going on. How do you know what is the return from each of the marketing channels? How do you quantify your different acquisition channels? I have a web intelligence system to help you understand that. That's one piece of it. And then what do you have in place to understand your target customer? And that's very important for both B2C and B2B type companies, and so I do that. And third segment that I'm very interested in I'm very interested in the sales departments. What would you look for if you're in sales? It's a no-brainer. Leads. Looking for leads. And I have very specific lead generation pilot programs that we tailor for very specific sales strategies and sales departments. So that's for like medium and larger size companies, but that's pretty much what we do. I have learned hard way how to run a business, and I was like, Alfred, where were you 3 years ago? I could have used your help, but I have a support system of people and network and groups within WSI channels and some groups outside that is allowing me to package different services and do what I do. So there are questions about whether I'm a website company, am I an SEO company, am I a social media company? And the answer is all. And I know that has created a little confusion here. And so we also have Vivian in our chapter, and there is a question as to what I do versus what Vivian do. And I would say that I work with companies for their marketing strategy, and I weave in all the tools they would need along the way to make it happen for them. Am I conflicting, or are we overlapping? Vivian, what would you say?
Well, you have a much more comprehensive collection of things that you do. And for folks here, I'm focusing on social media and mobile device marketing. There are a couple of tools that I have that sometimes is online marketing influence, and sometimes that can seem like a conflict. Devin and I don't see a conflict in what he does and what I do. When he's doing a complete go-to-market program for folks that is also going to incorporate social media and in building websites and doing marketing, because that's what he does. I would do social media, and with that I don't actually I don't do corporate websites anymore. I do direct response marketing websites. They're not the pretty kind, they're just sales websites. There may be occasion that I would be doing something with Devin on a project he's doing with a client, but a good deal of the time, probably not. If someone here is looking to amp out and focus on their social media, then by all means, come to me. But there are aspects of social media that I don't do. I propose that people be their own voice, and there may be different constructs of the social media that you would want to be having with Devin, and whether or not you would actually break up those pieces. So I understand that in what he does, he also does some of what I do. He understands that in what I do, it kind of goes into little pieces of what he does, but we have very actual different markets, and we have different approaches to what we do. So sometimes I would be a fit for you, sometimes Devin would be a fit for you. But definitely, he does the whole encompassing marketing piece for online and offline, which I don't touch.
Right. Any questions about what I do?
The way I would envision it is that it's more, you're more the strategic piece of it, and you're more the tactical part.
I wouldn't say that. I'm very strategic oriented in the what of this that I do. I'm very strategy versus tactic.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't do the whole aspect of what he does. Online marketing involves many different things. Offline marketing involves many different things. Actually, social media involves many different things. There is a whole lot that has occurred in the field of online marketing in the last several years that Deven and I know that probably a lot of you don't know. And it's many of the definitions that people operate on what the aspects of online marketing are kind of outdated.
Correct.
And it's hard to actually be one piece of something. When I first came here, there was somebody with SEO and there was somebody who was going to be web graphic designer. So I made a choice in being here so that it could be here and amongst that to not offer those different things here.
Right, so case in a point, search engine optimization, I'm sure all of you have heard of it. You cannot do SEO without including social media elements. And so could I say that I'm using social media when I'm doing SEO? Yes. And could Vivian say that she's doing SEO while she's doing social media pieces? Probably yes as well. And so the web technology has evolved to a point where everything is interactive and the whole ballgame is building your credibility. And only way to do that is if you integrate all the different pieces into it. And so it used to be that there is a website guy, there is an SEO guy, and there is a social media person, there is an advertising person. It's kind of evolving from there. And I hope this is helping a little bit to clear up the confusion. We probably will continue the process and help even more along the way. How long do I have, Steve?
You're there.
I'm there? How many seconds?
Go ahead, you
Yeah, I had one-on-one with quite a few of you, and we had a nice conversation today morning. And we have awesome ideas for using LinkedIn and Facebook as a networking tool for our group. It's going to help us network even more effectively as a group. It's going to help us get more recruits for our chapter, for our club here. And it's going to help us in creating that quality buzz that's going to generate leads for all of us as well. I don't have a lot of time here right now, but we have a webinar scheduled on Friday. So I hope all of you got my email. If you haven't, please let me know. I hope you can make it. Thank you.